Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going deep on Jack Ma,
Okay.
the founder of Alibaba.
Yeah,
You've probably heard his name,
I have.
but we're going to uncover some really fascinating details about his journey,
Okay.
from English teacher to global business icon.
Mm-hmm.
What's really interesting is that we're going to be exploring all of this through his Spanish Wikipedia entry.
Oh, wow.
Talk about an outsider's perspective on a Chinese business giant.
It really highlights how language can shape our understanding of someone.
Yeah.
A Spanish Wikipedia entry might emphasize different aspects of Ma's life than, say, an English one,
Yeah.
giving us a fresh perspective.
Exactly. Let's start with his early life.
Okay.
Now, Jack Ma wasn't always on the fast track to success, especially when it came to academics. He was born in Hangzhou, China in 1964,
Okay.
and it actually took him 4 years to pass the university entrance exams.
Really?
4 years.
Wow.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that the path to success isn't always linear. Sometimes it's the resilience and determination to overcome early setbacks that really shapes a person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But even in his early years, there were hints of the global figure he would become.
Oh, interesting.
Ma had a passion for English,
Okay.
going as far as practicing with tourists near his home.
Wow.
This wasn't just a hobby for him,
That's
it
right.
was strategic.
Hmm.
He knew connecting with the world was important,
Yeah.
and his English fluency ended up setting him apart from other Chinese entrepreneurs.
Interesting.
And you won't believe this.
What?
His nickname, Jack, actually came from a pen pal who couldn't pronounce his Chinese name.
That's fascinating.
Imagine a simple pen pal exchange shaping his global identity.
That's incredible how small interactions can leave a lasting impact.
Right. Now here's where things take an unexpected turn.
Okay.
After graduating with a BA in English, he became a teacher.
A teacher.
Not exactly the typical launchpad for a tech titan.
Definitely not the usual path.
He taught English and international trade at Hangzhou Dianzi University.
Wow.
It really makes you wonder how his experience in the classroom shaped his approach to business later on.
Yeah.
Was there a part of him that always saw himself as a teacher, even at Alibaba?
That's a really interesting thought. Maybe that's where his leadership style and ability to connect with people originated.
Yeah,
But of course, we know he went on to found Alibaba.
of course.
Talk about a giant leap from the classroom to the global stage.
It wasn't just any leap.
Right.
Alibaba became a massively successful internet business consortium.
Right.
And let's not forget, Jack Ma became the first mainland Chinese entrepreneur to be featured on the cover of Forbes magazine,
Wow.
a true symbol of China's growing economic influence.
Yeah. And of course, the Alibaba IPO made him one of the richest people in the world.
Wow.
But the Spanish Wikipedia entry
Yeah.
gives us more than just the business highlights.
Right.
It also sheds light on his personal life.
It's important to remember that even the most successful entrepreneurs have lives outside of work. For sure.
Yeah.
We learn, for example, that he met his wife, Zhang Ying, while they were both studying at Hangzhou Normal University.
Okay.
They have a son and a daughter.
A family.
And by all accounts, they seem to have built a very grounded life despite their extraordinary wealth.
It's nice.
Now, ready for something really unexpected?
Good.
Jack Ma is a huge Tai Chi enthusiast.
Tai Chi. Really?
Yes.
Wow.
He started studying in 2009 and went as far as hiring Tai Chi champions to teach at Alibaba,
Right.
with employee attendance being mandatory.
Mandatory.
That's a quite a unique company perk.
Yeah.
I wonder how the employees felt about that.
Yeah, you and me both.
That's interesting.
But here's where it gets even more intriguing.
Okay.
Ma has stated he wants to be remembered as a Tai Chi master rather than a business leader.
Wow.
This reveals a whole different side to him, a focus on personal growth and balance that's not typically associated with high-powered CEOs. It's fascinating how this seemingly simple practice provides insight into his philosophy and leadership style.
Yeah.
Maybe his emphasis on discipline, balance, and mindfulness in Tai Chi translates into how he approaches his work and his vision for Alibaba.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like he brings that same focus and intensity to everything he does,
Yeah.
whether it's building a company, practicing Tai Chi,
Yeah.
or, as we'll see later, advocating for causes he believes in.
Okay.
But for now, let's dive into the next chapter of his life where his entrepreneurial journey takes a turn towards something unexpected,
Okay.
and we'll see what happens.
Sounds good. It's remarkable how someone who built a digital empire finds grounding in an ancient practice like Tai Chi. It speaks to a depth that goes beyond the typical entrepreneurial narrative.
Right. It's almost as if his journey reflects this constant push and pull between tradition and innovation, which seems to mirror China's own rapid development in recent decades.
That's a great observation. And speaking of pushing boundaries, Jack Ma's environmental activism is another fascinating aspect of his story. His public renunciation of shark fin soup in 2007 was a pivotal moment, sparking a deeper interest in environmental issues for him.
It was a bold move, especially considering the cultural significance of shark fin soup in China. He didn't just talk about it, though. Alibaba took action, banning the sale of shark fin products on all its platforms.
It really shows how someone in his position can leverage their influence to drive real change. And he didn't stop there. Starting in 2010, he committed 0.3% of Alibaba's annual revenue to environmental protection projects, a significant amount considering the scale of the company. He even went on to purchase a massive 28,100-acre conservation property in New York's Adirondack Park in 2015.
Talk about putting your money where your mouth is. It's
Yeah.
clear that sustainability is more than just a talking point for him. It seems like he's trying to redefine what healthy and sustainable money can achieve, a concept that challenges traditional notions of profit and growth.
He's always emphasized the importance of businesses contributing to the well-being of society, not just focusing on the bottom line. It's a perspective that's gaining more traction as we grapple with issues like climate change and social inequality. But even as he championed these causes, his relationship with the Chinese government was becoming increasingly complex.
Right, and this leads us to another turning point. His decision to step back from Alibaba in 2018, at the peak of his career, he announced he would be stepping down as chairman, eventually handing the reins to Daniel Zhang, the CEO.
It was a move that surprised many. There was a lot of speculation about his reasons, especially considering the growing scrutiny Alibaba was facing from Chinese authorities. Remember his controversial comments about the 996 work culture in 2019?
Absolutely. To give our listeners some context, 996 refers to the grueling work schedule that's become prevalent in China's tech industry, where employees work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, when Jack Ma called it a huge blessing. It sparked a huge debate about work-life balance and employee rights, not just in China, but globally.
His comments really highlighted the cultural differences in how work is perceived and the challenges of reconciling traditional values with the demands of a hyper-competitive tech sector.
And this tension seemed to escalate in 2023 when he started relinquishing control of Ant Group, his financial company, amidst even greater scrutiny from the Chinese government. It seemed to signal a shift in focus for May, perhaps a realization that there were limits to his ambition within a system that prioritizes control and stability.
It's a stark reminder that even the most successful entrepreneurs aren't immune to the political and economic realities of their environment, especially in a country like China, where the lines between business and government are often blurred.
It's almost like we're witnessing a real-life drama unfold, full of twists and turns, triumphs and setbacks, and just when you think you have Jack Ma figured out, he does something completely unexpected.
Exactly. Take, for instance, his recent move into academia in 2023. It was announced he'd be teaching management and sustainable agriculture at the University of Tokyo. It's a fascinating next chapter for someone who has already achieved so much in the business world.
It does make you wonder, what's next for Jack Ma? Is he truly stepping away from the business world to focus on teaching and environmentalism, or is this just a temporary pause before he embarks on some new venture?
It's the million-dollar question, and it's this unpredictability that makes his story so compelling. He's constantly evolving, pushing boundaries and defying expectations.
Yeah.
But regardless of what he does next, there's no denying the impact he's had on the world.
From humble beginnings to global success, Jack Ma has left an indelible mark on the world of business. And beyond, he's a testament to the power of hard work, resilience, and a willingness to embrace new ideas, all while navigating the complexities of China's rise on the world stage.
He's a truly fascinating figure, a walking paradox, who embodies both the entrepreneurial spirit and the social consciousness of our times. But what does this all mean for our listener? Why should they care about Jack Ma and his journey?
Well, for one, his story is incredibly inspiring. It shows you don't need a privileged background or a perfect academic record to achieve extraordinary things. It's about passion, perseverance, and a willingness to take risks.
Absolutely. But it's more than just personal inspiration. Understanding Jack Ma and Alibaba helps us understand the forces shaping the global economy, the rise of e-commerce, and the growing influence of China on the world stage.
And let's not forget the lessons we can learn from his commitment to sustainability
Yeah.
and his efforts to balance personal growth with professional success. These are themes that resonate with everyone, regardless of their career path or aspirations.
Exactly. And we can't overlook the controversies he's been embroiled in. His comments on the 996 work culture sparked a much-needed conversation about work-life balance and employee rights, not just in China, but globally.
It's true, his perspective definitely clashed with a lot of people's, especially in the West.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that cultural context really matters.
Yeah.
What might be seen as a positive in one culture can be highly controversial in another.
It definitely challenged a lot of assumptions, and his recent moves away from Alibaba and Ant Group raised questions about the limits of individual ambition within a system that prioritizes control and stability.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even the most successful entrepreneurs are not immune to the political and economic realities of their environment.
It's also fascinating.
It is.
It's like we're watching a real-life drama unfold.
And who knows what the final act will hold? Will Jack Ma return to the business world with some new disruptive venture? Will he dedicate himself fully to teaching and philanthropy? Or will he find some other way to leverage his influence and resources to make a lasting impact?
It's a question worth pondering. We've talked about Jack Ma, the entrepreneur, the philanthropist, the Tai Chi enthusiast. But before we wrap up, I'm curious, what about Jack Ma, the human being? What do you think drives him at his core?
That's a great question. I think it's that same relentless curiosity and desire to learn that led him to practice English with tourists as a young boy.
Yeah.
It's the same drive that propelled him from a teacher's classroom to the helm of a global empire. He never seems to settle, always looking for the next challenge.
I see that, and perhaps it's this insatiable curiosity that's leading him into this new chapter focused on teaching sustainability and exploring new frontiers. It's almost as if he's constantly seeking ways to grow and make a difference.
And that in itself is a valuable lesson we can all take away from Jack Ma's journey. It's never too late to reinvent yourself, to pursue new passions, and to find ways to leave your mark on the world.
Well said. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive on Jack Ma, the Tai Chi master, or Jack Ma, the sustainable agriculture guru.
Now, that would be a deep dive I wouldn't want to miss.
All right, listeners, that wraps up our deep dive into the fascinating world of Jack Ma. We hope you've enjoyed this journey as much as we have. And remember, there's always more to learn, more to explore, and more to discover. Keep questioning, keep learning, and keep diving deep.